Hello everyone, good morning, happy Tuesday, and welcome to Tea Time. It's time to hang out and craft together and talk about our latest release. Can you guys believe it's the last Tuesday in March? Whitney was just saying to me, where did this month go? And I don't know. We always joke about how January seems to last like 84 days. We're just never going to get to the end of January, and then as soon as February hits, the rest of the year just kind of sails by. So I am feeling that way, but totally enjoying the beautiful weather that we're having lately. It's supposed to be 78 degrees on Friday.
I'm so excited!
I know. We need to plan it, like go outside for a walk or something.
Yes!
That's my favorite part of spring and summer and fall is getting outside and going for a walk around the neighborhood. It clears my mind and does so much to just
that
my
vitamin
soul.
C.
Yes, it's the vitamin C, right? We all need a little bit of, or is it vitamin D? I don't know.
Vitamin D.
It's like,
We need all the vitamins at
all
this
of
point.
them. Yes, drink your orange juice and go for a walk.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was fun.
Oh, all right. Well, let's say hi to some people. Hello, greetings from Texas. Audrey's here. Hi, Rachel. Good morning. Dawn is here. Hi, Sarah. Lori says good morning. Hi, Sally. Sally, you had snow yesterday in Michigan. I'm sorry about that.
Whoa.
I know it's that roller coaster time of year where you're not really sure what you're going to wake up to. Whether it's going to be 70s and sunny or, some flurries and snow. Hi, Jill in Seattle. Good morning, Lee. And Gail is here in Ohio. Debbie's out in South Dakota. Good morning, Amrita. Well, we are super excited that you're here today. If it's your first time joining us, then a special welcome to you. Please feel free to jump in on the comments. We are live on both Facebook and YouTube. I can see all of the comments here on my screen, so no matter where you're watching, I can see you. So please engage with us, say hello, chat with others in the comments section if you want. Today we are here to launch our kit. So I know, very exciting. Every month on the last Tuesday, we launch a new card making kit. And since it's March, this is our third kit of the year. And this one has been super popular. I know that many of you got a sneak peek of this during Whitney and I's product reveal that launched over the weekend on our fan page. So you are ready to go with your fast fingers this morning and grabbing your kit because you're loving this style and this floral artwork. I think we're all just really ready to welcome spring.
Yes!
And there are so many occasions that this works for. So I am excited to share with you our Nature's Canvas kit today. Since we already went through all of the contents of the kit in our product reveal, I think Charlie usually puts that link in the comments section so that if you wanted to catch that and see everything that's in it, you can do that. Or of course you can go to our website and you can click on what's new and find the kit there and all of its contents. And I am going to show you though the Big Nature Bundle. So we did talk about this in our product reveal. Our Big Nature Bundle is available while supplies last, as well as the kit, but it includes the card making kit plus some extras that will give you even more options with your kit. So take a look at that Big Nature Bundle. It includes the dies for the sentiments and the flowers in the kit. So if those are two of the things you know you want, then grab that Big Nature Bundle. There's a couple other things in there too. Envelope seals is one of them. So take a look at that and get your kit. If you're hearing me now, get your kit because I don't think these are going to last through the end of the day. So let's go ahead and get started crafting now. Okay, it looks like Joanne is enjoying our product reveal each week, Whitney.
Oh, great! Yay!
She said she looks forward to it every Saturday, so that's fun.
We have so much fun doing that.
We
one.
do. I know, we should start a bloopers type of
Yes.
a thing because
That might be embarrassing.
we get a little silly sometimes. And we have a lot of fun doing those. So if you haven't had a chance to see one of our product reveals, then tune in on our Fans of Tailored Expressions page on Facebook, and those launch on Saturdays. So today we are going to do some crafting with the kit, and these are a couple of projects that I made that incorporate a little bit of everything. So we've got some foiling. We're going to do a little foiling today. We have background stamping, and then we'll be coloring the beautiful floral using the coloring stencils that come in the kit. I know coloring stencils are something that has evolved since the blender brush was released. So we released our blender brushes in 2019. Our colored handle blender brushes were the first of their kind on the market. And since then, all of the blending techniques have just really evolved, and I love seeing how we're using our tools to our advantage, because I know a lot of times when I love to color with markers, I do. But I think when I see images like this, my first reaction was either one, that's going to take a lot of time, or two, I'm never going to get it to look as beautiful as Lori Craig does. So if you are on that train of thought as well, I love being able to look at images like this and see a coordinating product like a coloring stencil that allows you to do maybe a technique that you're more comfortable with, using these stencils to blend the color into the flowers. And you see how much dimension you can get even with blended ink. And I think it's fabulous. All right, so this is the stamp set that the kit is built around. It's called Nature's Canvas. It is a full-size stamp set, so this is our biggest stamp panel that we make, and you can see that those 4 images really take up a lot of space on that panel. They are designed to be the focal image of your card base or your card panel. I'm going to show you a few of the samples that the design team has created with these so you can see. In your kit, you will get the tailored tutorial, and this is the project in the tailored tutorial that I created for you guys. Super easy, quick, a little bit of highlighting that we're going to show you how to do in that tutorial, and just a really quick and pretty card. And then if you want to, if you love watercoloring, you can take this in that direction. Heather made this card, and this is actually what she's going to be doing on her live on Thursday. So make sure that you tune in on Thursday, because she has so many great tips for using Tailored Expressions liquid watercolors in order to watercolor these beautiful images. So she has stamped them on watercolor cardstock, which is a difference that you would want to note if you're planning to watercolor. Make sure you're stamping that on watercolor cardstock and not on sugar cube cardstock. Then, as I mentioned, the queen of Olo markers, Lori Craig, created this gorgeous card, and she colored the flowers in, blending them with the alcohol markers. So I think that turned out so pretty, and I love that there are so many different mediums that you have the opportunity to use. So maybe you're going on a trip and you'd want to bring your watercolors with you. Maybe you'll sit out on the veranda and drink a little bit of wine and paint your watercolor flowers. You can stamp these ahead of time, bring your watercolors with you and enjoy that. Or you can bring your markers on a trip and you can color with your markers. Or you can be in your craft room and blend with all of your coloring stencils. So lots and lots of options with these. Here's another beautiful one. So Lori created this again using the Olo markers. You can see she added the little dotting in the flower, in the center of the flower, which I think just makes it look even more realistic. So, so pretty. So there are some options. Of course, we have all of our design team participated in creating projects with this kit. So make sure you head over to the Tailored Expressions blog. Tune in to our social media, because Charlie's always sharing their projects there as well. So you'll get lots of inspiration for this kit. So what we are going to do is we're actually going to make this card today. And then if I have some extra time at the end, I wanted to give you guys some ideas of how you can create with this using a couple different techniques or thought processes. So one of the great things about if you're only purchasing the kit and you're not grabbing those extra dies, I wanted to show you how you can create a beautiful one-layer card. So this is just a card front, but if you were to stamp this directly on your card, you could have a beautiful one-layer card that doesn't have any added dimension to it. And I think we forget about the beauty of a one-layer card. You can still have all that dimension from the coloring, but it really lets that imagery speak, and you're not adding any pop of foam tape, or makes a beautiful set of cards to give as well, so that the recipients don't have to worry about paying extra postage. So I just love a good one-layer card. The other fun technique on this is something that Jill Hawkins will do often, and she did that on this particular card here as well, where you stamp the image in a lighter color and then blend over the top of it so that you get almost a no-line coloring look. Look at how soft that flower looks in comparison to the same colors were used for blending here and here, but on this one the image is stamped in black, and here the image is stamped in toffee. So I'm going to show you guys that a little bit later if we have a little extra time, but I wanted to mention try that because it is a fun thing to explore with. Okay, so this one is the one we're going to start on. I have my Misty here to stamp the image, and I just grabbed a big piece of sugar cube cardstock. And I'm going to take that daisy. I mentioned in our product reveal video that I am not very good with flower names, so I'm sure these beautiful flowers have real names for them. To me, they're just beautiful flowers. So if you know what these flowers are, I would love to hear. This one I know is a daisy, and so I will call it by its name. So we're going to use the daisy here and stamp that. Now it is important, if you are using the die or you plan to use the die, make sure you're not kind of pulling on this stem at all. You want to just let it hang there loosely before you pick it up with your Misty lid. If that gets turned or bent out of shape at all, your die will not work or will not cut around the stem properly. Okay, we are going to use Oreo ink then to stamp this, and that is the color I would recommend if you're planning to do pretty much any technique. You can blend over Oreo without it bleeding. You can watercolor with Oreo, and you can also use it with alcohol markers. I am going to stamp a couple times, but this is one of those instances where you will hopefully see the benefits of beautifully etched red rubber stamps. I'm going to hold this up into the camera so you can just get a picture of all of those tiny little, look at all of those tiny little dots that add so much dimension to that flower center, and how well they are etched into that rubber stamp to get those tiny little impressions to come through on your paper. So this is one of those instances where rubber is just going to make your experience fabulous. Okay. So let's get out our coloring stencils now. The coloring stencils that are in the kit, there are 5 of them. And they are split apart so that you have pieces that will fill in all the parts of the flowers. And it was not possible to get each flower its own stencil. So hopefully that makes sense. We would have had to make a much larger stencil set. So they are split up into groupings, which it won't be too tough for you to tell. You can see here, this is the long flower over on this side. And then on this one is the same design, so that long border image. Here and here, those are for the same image. You can see on some of these we have an etch marking here. That is for the long border stamp. Everything on the right of that is for the long floral border. And then to the left of that is the big grouping of flowers. So these 3 stencils all work together for creating this flower and this flower. However, the leaves for the other groupings are on this one. So you have a couple of leaves here, a couple of flower centers on this one, and then this is for your daisy petals, And I'm not sure if anyone answered me, but these flowers here are the other two portions on that.
Poppy, Cosmo.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Whitney. Is this
So Daisy, Poppy,
Daisy, Poppy,
Cosmo.
Cosmo, and Pretty Flower.
Mm-hmm.
And Gorgeous
Love
Border
it.
Flower. Yes. Okay, thank you. Those of you who took some
We
guesses.
learned something new. I love it.
Yes, take a guess at our paper flowers. Okay, so I am going to start with this stencil that has two portions for the daisy flower petal portion. I'm going to make sure that my stencil is the right direction, so you will know because of the etching at the bottom, there is Tailored Expressions etched into the stencil material, and if you see it spelled backwards, then you know your stencil is flipped over. So make sure you can read that right side up, and then you will find that that can just be laid over the top of your stamped image, and barely a wiggle, and it gets you perfectly in place there. Now I can take my magnet and could I get the teal tape wet?
Yes.
Thanks. I'm going to put a little bit of teal tape over on this side just so it doesn't flap, and then we can start blending. Our first blending color is going to be pink champagne for this. Oh, maybe a hollyhock for the border flower. Do you remember Mom used to have hollyhocks in our backyard? They would grow along the fence line.
Yes, I do.
Oh, those were so pretty. Okay. That is one thing my kids will not be saying about when they're my age. Do you remember Mom had those beautiful bushes in the backyard? I have not been known to plant a lot of flowers, but maybe I need to change that because I love the memory of my mom's garden when I was a kid.
Me as well. We had a lovely, vegetable garden.
Yes.
I remember strawberries.
I mean, I remember hating it also because Mom would make us
Yes.
pull beans and
Absolutely.
weed the garden. So there was also that, but it wouldn't have really mattered what chore she made us do. I think I
True.
probably wouldn't have wanted to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So there we have our first petals. And again, I did that in pink champagne all over and then highlighted inside the center with the guava ink. And now I'm going to take this next layer and we're going to blend with guava first, and then we'll come back with a little bit darker fruit punch. So I'm using a total of 3 colors on this card, or on this flower petal. So we'll take guava next. Just make sure as you're moving your stencil around, if you need a little piece to block off down here, make sure you're not getting ink kind of over applied onto your bottom part of your cardstock. You can always use Post-it removable labeling tape if you wanted to put that down there, just to make sure in case you get a little overexcited and you blend outside of your stencil material, you don't want to ruin your project. Actually, I don't know why I'm taking that off yet. Let's put it right back on. And then we're going to take our fruit punch, which is a slightly darker ink, and we're going to concentrate that just in the center of those flower petals. Okay, let's peel this back and take a look at our flower. So pretty. By having a couple different colors on that one flower, you get a beautiful dimensional blend by just adding 2 stencil layers for that same flower and kind of making the petals vary in color. Okay, so that is our daisy petals. Now let's take a look at our flower center. This stencil has a couple of leaves on it, so we're going to use the leaves here to do the bottom portion, and then we're going to shift down, and this top part is the center of our flower. So we'll go ahead and do the leaves. Really easy to line up. There's no alignment guides or alignment squares or any of that, because you can see the outline of the image that you stamped when you're lining up the stencils. And we'll go ahead and blend this in green tea first. Just a really light application of that green tea ink. And then we'll come back and do Brussels sprout. These two are the two coordinating colors that I often use together for blending floral leafy portions of my flowers. The Brussels is slightly darker, so we'll come in and add a little bit of that at the bottom of the leaves. And now the leaves are done. Like I said, we'll just shift this stencil then down. And our flower center is right here. I love it. I'm loving this big magnet here because this isn't the type of stencil that you need to tack down really well on all the edges. It is just something you want to be able to easily and quickly move as you're coloring in your flower. And with the honey, I like to do a light application, and then I take my additional ink and come in darker towards the bottom. All right, here's the big reveal.
Woo woo!
And
I'm
it
ready.
was super, super simple. Look at that. Beautiful
Gorgeous.
flower. Where are my blending fans? Come on out. Come on out in the comments and tell me you love this, because there is nothing better than a quick and easy colored flower that looks this beautiful. So I love it. All right, let's go ahead and quickly wash our stencils because we can, and it's easy. It's something, oh, I should mention to everyone, this is our alcohol bottle that we sell on our website, and you can fill it with 90% isopropyl alcohol. And I love cleaning my stencils with this, so much so that we upgraded to this bottle. So we clean a lot of stencils around here, but this fits almost a whole container of isopropyl alcohol in it. We still have these mixed around our room in several locations, but this is our upgraded gigantic bottle of alcohol. So funny. Okay.
Yeah, I constantly have on the need to purchase list more
Alcohol. I know, we do have that on the list pretty often, but it's just so easy to clean them this way. And this is actually a really great time to mention too. So as you're cleaning your stencils, make sure you get to know your stencils before you clean them. So take a look at where those little pokey, pointy parts are. They tend to get caught on cloths as you're dragging your cloth across. So if you see some of those pointy parts, just know to be extra cautious and maybe even do a dab instead of a scrub, and you will have better luck with not bending or breaking those more intricate parts of your stencils. Okay, so now we can go ahead and die cut this. The coordinating set of dies, as I mentioned before, is available for purchase separately from the kit, or it's part of the Big Nature bundle if you purchased that. And I'm going to grab this one, I believe is the daisy. And we can go ahead and tack that around and send it through Marilyn says, I didn't know you could clean the stencils with the alcohol. Marilyn, what have you been cleaning with the alcohol? Just your glass board, maybe? Yeah, anything. I do not recommend cleaning your rubber stamps or clear stamps with alcohol. Alcohol is a very drying liquid, so you probably have noticed if you do a lot of stencil washing all at the same time, your hands feel dry. It dries out your skin. The great thing about it is it does dry really quickly, so if you are wanting to move on and use the same stencil, it dries really fast. But you can use it on glass, plastic, those types of materials. I would not recommend using it on your rubber or clear stamps because it will dry them out over time. Not the first time, but if you're consistently doing it, it has a tendency to do that. Okay, so here we are with that die cut image. Perfect. Love it. Okay, so let's do some foiling. Next, I'm going to pull the card in that we are creating. I wanted to show you guys these insiders panels. Aren't they just gorgeous? I don't think I actually have a full set here, but let me see if I can find. Yes, I can. I do. We're going to use this one that says, I will ride the storm with you and we'll wait for the rainbow together.
Beautiful.
Isn't that such a sweet way to say, I'm with you, you're going through a hard time, but I'm here with you in the storm. And
it'll be over.
The storm will pass and we will wait for that rainbow together. I love it.
Love it.
Julie asked if we're going to sell the ginormous spray bottle. I don't think we are. We thought about it, but it is something you can grab like in a Target, or I think we actually got this one at Amazon. Walmart probably has a giant spray bottle.
Absolutely, yeah.
There's not anything super special about this one, but I do like the spray bottles that have the handle that you squeeze instead of the top that you pump. I don't like the pump ones. It hurts my finger after a while. So that's the insiders panel that we're going to use on this card, but there are some other great ones in this set. Maybe I'll just open it up and show you guys what some of these say, because this might be a good addition. Even if you're not getting the kit, you are still able to get the insiders, and I just think these are going to be great to use in the future for lots of things. This one says, the world is a better place when you're feeling your best. Get well soon. Then we have, may you find joy in 1,000 little ways you never expected.
I
love that one too. And you're showing incredible courage in fighting this battle. You are not alone. So great. Such good ones. All right, so let's go ahead and I'm going to pull my mini mink machine into the frame here and we'll get it heated up. Get our foil cut. I'm going to heat to a setting of 3. If you guys don't know, if you haven't heard, we are having summer school this summer.
Whoop, whoop.
I know, so exciting, right? I'm excited for summer school. For once in my life, I'm excited for summer school. But we would love to have you join us for our summer school class where we will be talking all about foiling. If you haven't kind of dove into the foiling craze yet, this is super easy and approachable way to foil, and I think it adds so much classiness to your cards. People say they see a card with foil on it and they think, how did they do that? Did she actually make that? Did she paint that foil on there? So yeah, I think it is really easy to do, but really packs a big punch. So even if you haven't gotten into the foiling yet, the great part about our summer school class is when you sign up for the class, you will get a coupon code to purchase a mini mink machine for 30% off, which is a great deal, especially if you've thought, I don't know, I don't need another machine, or I don't want to spend that much on a machine that I might not love. I hope that you will consider joining us, and when you attend the class, we'll give you all the tools and tips and ideas to use it. So today we're going to do the simplest form of foiling, which is with any pre-printed toner printed card, you can apply foil over the top of it using a heat source like the mink. And I am going to, our foil comes on a roll, and so I'm going to cut the piece that I need. This is our TE Fun Foil in Champagne. It comes in 25-foot rolls, so 6 inches by 25 feet. And I believe when we calculated this out, you could get something like 75 A2 panels out of this one roll of foil. So it's really a great deal as well. So we're gonna just cut this down because you can use these extra little pieces of foil. And we have a couple different ways we store our extras, but sometimes you'll find Susan started doing this, and Sue here in the craft room, and so it's something I've started doing. But if I have a little piece I'm not going to use that might benefit someone in the future, I just roll it up and stick it in the middle. So then if somebody needs just a tiny little piece, it's right there in the middle of the roll for them. And then when I put it back together, I fit my cap on first, except for my roll got a little wonky because I didn't put its tape back on. That's what I forgot. So let me get the tape over here. And then when I put my roll back in, I put the lid or the cap on the roll first and then push it down in to seal it. Okay, so here we have our 6x6 carrier folder. This is what you put through your mink machine when you're foiling. And then I have our Foil Magic shim. So this is something we have found that conducts the heat super well. So a cardstock shim can also work to add a little bit of extra pressure through your machine and really get that foil adhesion. But we have found even better results with our Foil Magic shim. So we recommend that, and we're gonna just place our foil on top here. Close that folder. You always want the pretty side of your foil facing up. And then we're gonna put it through with the folded end of the carrier first. All right. Oh, Shelly, you got your order, or you got your kit already. You're gonna come see us to pick it up this week. I haven't seen you for a long time. Maybe I'll catch you while you're here. All right, we've got Kathy here from Austin, Texas, not Minnesota.
Yeah.
Okay. So here it is. It is warm when it comes through. Sometimes if you have like sensitive fingers or hands, we do recommend pulling that folder out because that magic shim conducts the heat so well. It can get warm, but I'm gonna shut it off here and move it out of the way. We'll let that cool down so that it's kind of cool to the touch. You can pull out the piece. I usually try not to pull off my foiled piece until it's cool to the touch. I find it gives it that little bit of extra time, and the cooling helps adhere the foil. So let's go ahead and pull that off. Here's the big reveal. So pretty.
Ooh.
Look at that. I can't quite get it up to the light right, but here it comes. There it is. Yes. Oh, I love seeing so many of you have signed up for summer school. Somebody was asking if summer school was in person or if it's a virtual event. And it is a virtual event. You can head to our website. Whitney, where's the information at the top? Is it under Connect with Us? Yes. So at the top of our website is a tab that says Connect with Us, and then you can drop down and select summer school, read all about it, and register through the link there. So,
Party at summer school.
yes. I know, we've already been talking about homework for summer school. It might be like after class homework, not before class homework. Because if you've taken our classes before, you know there's usually not homework involved. I think maybe we have a few tiny little things here and there. Cut apart your dies or fold your card bases, but usually no homework to prepare for the event. Okay, so I want to use this as my card front, and so I'm going to give you guys, if you want to make this same project, I'm going to give you the way that I cut this piece. So I cut 5/8 inch off of each side. So not too tough to remember, hopefully. That's just 1/8 inch over the 1/2 inch mark. We'll do that on one end. And then we'll cut it again, 5/8 inch off of the other side. And that's going to give us the sentiment size that we need for our card. Now, one other thing to mention, our insiders panels are 4 by 5 1/4. Your typical card base is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So this is 1/4 inch shorter than a typical card base, but I wanted to use it as my card base. I did not want to mat it onto a card base. So I did a sneaky little thing, and you'll see here when I hold this up, I cut off a little bit from the bottom of my card base. So I want to have a 5 1/4 inch card base instead of 5 1/2. So I'm going to make sure this is scored well here and creased with my bone folder so that I have that ready. And then if you have a guillotine cutter, this works really well with that. It'll work to cut through 2 layers of cardstock with a blade cutter, but I don't recommend doing it a lot. So let's move this down to 5 1/4, and then we're just going to cut off that little bit along the bottom so that when I adhere this, it's going to reach from top to bottom. Does that make sense? It's okay to cut your card base down a tiny bit. I don't do it very often, but I knew somebody would catch it when they went to create their project, so I wanted to make special mention because those insiders panels are only 5 1/4 inches tall, then you do need to cut down your card base if you want it to look the same as mine. All right, so we have that. Now let's do the opposite side of the card. This is stamped tone on tone with our burlap background stamp. And on this other project that we didn't make on the video, I used the Pixie Petals background stamp. So I thought both of those were really pretty to create some dimension, something in the background without grabbing too much attention. So let's get this is the Burlap Background. Are you guys tired of seeing this one yet? I've used it a lot, haven't I, Whitney?
But we love it!
I just keep grabbing for it because it's like such a perfect textile look, and you don't, again, it doesn't pull too much away from your beautiful imagery. And actually, I would like my full-size Misty. Let's do that. So we'll place that down here. Pick it up. I already have a little bit of adhesive in here, and I have my paper already cut. So I cut it to 1 1/2 by 5 1/4, which will be the exact perfect amount that I need to finish off my card front. So 1 1/2 by 5 1/4. Go ahead and tack that in here. Looks good. So tone on tone, this is pink champagne cardstock, and we'll do pink champagne ink. All right. Mrs. Whitlock says this might be my favorite kit.
I mean, I did say in our walkthrough video that this kit had me swooning for weeks. So I was just over here like, oh, take my money now because this is so cute.
I know.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It is. It's great for so many occasions. I think that's what makes it just so appealing. And who doesn't love flowers? You can never have too many flowers. These are unique looking flowers. And the thing that I haven't really talked about yet, because we're not using it in today's video, but the other thing that really makes this kit shine are these beautiful sentiments. The timeless greetings sentiments.
Yes.
A little bit of everything. You've got a birthday wishes. Thanks so much. Thinking of you. You're in my prayers. With sympathy. Hello, just because. Love you and get well soon. So I love this font combination on this set. I think the script paired with the all caps font is just really timeless, which is perfect. It's called Timeless Greetings. And then the coordinating dies that are sold outside of the kit that you can add on or purchase in the bundle will allow you to cut those sentiments and place them anywhere you want. Okay, so now I think we're in our adhering era. Let's go ahead and adhere these things together onto our card base. Simple, simple, right? That's the name of the game today. And when I'm adhering things directly to the front of my card, I always open it up. I find that it's easier to line up while it's open than while it's closed. And then I'll close that again, just crease the front. And then I always flip it over and press on the back of my card to adhere that, or allow that adhesive to adhere. And then we'll do this over on this side. Maybe I should take should I take a poll while I'm finishing this? Do you guys want to see another flower blended with the light ink today? I do have some time, so I can show that flower that I showed at the beginning, how we did that with the lighter ink and blended that, if you guys would like to see that. I think we have some time, but totally fine if we're just ready to be done today too. Okay, so let me see. We've got this A peeks right through the petals and the leaf. So that's how I arranged this. The A in and actually peeks perfectly through that spacing with this stem coming right down the left side of the patterned stamped piece. So we're going to pop this up with a little bit of foam tape, and then it's done.
Cute.
Thanks, Whitney.
You're doing an excellent job.
Oh, here we got an extra little piece for this leaf, and then somehow I had an extra on the back of here. All right, we'll cut one little bit off and try to get that over on this side of my leaf. Darlene, that's a good question. Did you create the Facebook page yet for summer school? I believe we did. I saw it the other day. So
Oh, did you?
I did.
I hadn't seen it yet.
Oh,
So, yeah.
okay. I'm pretty sure I saw that it was created and that people had started to engage about
Woo!
some things in there. So I would
I'll go
search
look
for summer school. I don't know the name of the group. I can't remember specifically. And you'll have to request to join and wait for approval so that we make sure that you have actually signed up for the event. And once we approve you, you are in. So I'm putting a little bit of liquid adhesive on the bottom of the stems. Sometimes those stems are just a little too fussy to pop up with foam tape, but I don't want them to kind of flop around at the bottom. So then I will oftentimes put liquid adhesive on them. There it is. I will ride the storm with you and we'll wait for the rainbow together. I did add a few little gold glitter drops along the side of this panel here. One of the things that a lot of our design team members used, and Whitney and I realized we actually forgot to talk about this in our product reveal, so I'll bring these in. These are not brand new. These were available previously at one of our in-person events last fall at Stamp Joy, but we decided to bring them back. They are a beautiful white foil drop. So if I can get close enough into the camera and turn these over, you can see that there are little flecks of gold foil inside of a really nice creamy white, like a glitter drop, but with foil in them instead of glitter. So a great option, especially on this card that has foil on the sentiment. Having your drops match your card would be fun too. All right, let me see what I can do here. I think I got a few yes, go ahead. I'd love to see you blend some more. Did you see Kimberly's question? Whitney, do we have another sibling?
Oh, yes, we do.
Should we bring her in someday?
Yes.
Yeah, she doesn't live around here. She lives way too far away for our liking, but she lives out in California, and she is the youngest sister of the Cook sisters, as we used to be.
Cook sisters.
So yes, we have a third youngest sister. Her name is Hannah. So
she's the funniest
she
one.
is the funny, spunky one.
She's great.
Okay, so here is that image, and I stamped this, as I mentioned earlier, in toffee ink. So that's going to give us just enough color that we can see. I did also stamp one in oat milk ink. It was plenty dark for me to see, but I felt like when I was finished with the blending, I kind of lost the stems because there is no blended artwork to make those stand out. So I felt like a little bit darker, but not too dark on the ink was the way to go. So let's go ahead. I had mentioned previously, these are the 3 stencils that we'll use to blend this big flower. And we might use a little bit of creative masking here. So this is probably good that we're going over this one. All right, tag that down there. And then maybe we'll put one more down here, and then I think I can get away with not having any of our teal tape. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of that labeling tape, and I'm just covering up this area of the image or the openings because I only want the leaves to be green. So we'll do the leaves first. We have I almost said sweet tea. It's green tea. Green tea first. Yeah, I think somebody else said their youngest sister is the funny, spunky one too. She's also, I mean, not that you're not fun. My kids absolutely love you, Whitney, but they always talk about Hannah like she's the fun aunt.
She's the youngest.
The youngest that like
cool, hip.
She probably speaks the language they speak a little bit better than we do because, well, and we have to be disciplinary sometimes. So, but Hannah comes to town and it's like, let's just do all the fun things. Yep. It's sort of like sending your kids to Grandma and Grandpa's house where they don't have rules and you eat ice cream for breakfast. And
absolutely. But that's the best part of being an aunt.
Yes.
You don't have to worry about rules.
You don't. Oh, all right. Let's peel this off then. And we'll put that here while we do our center. And I'm going to do that again in honey. Do a lighter application. And then darker towards the bottom center part. Then let's take these off. I'm going to remind myself what. Okay, so this I did do. Actually, I think I did do that green. Let's do it green. Even though we already moved past the green, we're going to bring it back. and do these little spaces there. Okay. So there's our first stencil. Peel this off and you can start to see how that's looking. It just gives it such a smooth quality to the image when you can't see the lines. So, okay. Getting this right into place here. This flower is going to be macaron. Speaking of macaron, Whitney, it was John, my husband, it was his birthday yesterday. And Kevin, who is our general manager here at Tailored Expressions, brought in a birthday gift for John. And it was macarons from, did you know there's a bakery that makes them here?
Well, we need to go.
It's in the district. It's called Good Day.
Yes, I've been there.
You have?
I didn't know they make macarons.
Yes.
They also have like other things.
I've never been there before. I honestly didn't even know it was there. And so now I feel silly because I thought I knew every bakery in town. That says something about me right there.
We sure do like our treats.
Yes. So anyway, Kevin got this box of macarons for John for his birthday yesterday. And, you know, of course, the family had to try some last night. And they were so good. They had flavors like, well, Scotcheroo was one of the flavors that I tried. And it was amazing. So let's go ahead. I'm going to do yellow down here. A little bit of honey on these tiny little blooms. And then we'll move on to our third and final stencil for this flower. So we have grouped them together for you. I think once you get to using them, it will make a lot of sense. We didn't do like numbers or anything like that. I felt like it was just pretty self-explanatory. You can see exactly which ones line up over the top of the artwork. And sometimes adding numbers to things just makes me confused. So I don't know about everybody else, but put a number in there and all of a sudden I'm mind blown. Okay, so we're going to go ahead. I'm going to do a little bit of a mask here because I want those flowers to be a different color. And make sure I've got that in the right spot. So this is dried fig, which is a little bit darker than the macaron that we put on the last layer. But I don't want to do this too dark because I want to highlight this layer with an unexpected color. I've been using this one a lot lately with macaron and dried fig. I'll bring passion fruit in there. So we'll take our bitty blender and kind of get that purplish magenta hue towards the bottom of this. Pretty, pretty. All right. I might even still finish early. Amazing. Okay, then to get a little bit of purple down in here, I'm going to go with the lighter shade of macaron on these little flowers here. Okay, and the big reveal. Put all my ink pads away so I don't get a mess anywhere. Here it is. See how pretty that is and how different it looks from when you stamp it with the black ink. So there's more of a no line look, and then here's the lined look that we just created. Now this, I had told you before, would be great if you wanted to put your sentiment right down here and you have a beautiful one layer card. You could even dress it up, still keep it one layer, but put our diagonal stitch rectangles or if you have the cross stitch stacklets from our Stamp Joy event that we had just released, those would look really pretty around the outside while still keeping it a 1-layer card but adding some dimension. Another little tip I have, so I have already broken down my Misty, but one thing you can do is if you have this positioned into the bottom corner of your Misty and you stamp this in toffee, and then you do your blending and you come back, push your cardstock all the way into position again and re-stamp with toffee over the top, that's going to define some of those lines that you've covered up, just that little extra bit that I think is another fun touch. And that is something that I did on this one that I did earlier. So you can see the lines, the veining in the leaf a little bit better than you can over on this one, because I put this right back in the same position of my Misty and just re-stamped it with that light toffee ink. So let's see. Debbie's asking, what would a red option of inks be? So if you wanted something more red, we went more pink with this version today. But if you wanted something more red, I would say eliminate the pink champagne and go from guava to fruit punch to mulled wine. So that's going to be a deeper, darker red. That would be your third color instead of having the lighter pink in there like we did. And you'll get more of a red flop. All right. Well, I think I got questions answered, and Whitney's been typing away getting everybody's questions. Candy says, how could she be more spunky than Whitney? Is that even possible? I don't know. Whitney's very enthusiastic, and Hannah is very Hannah. Spunky. Oh, so yes. I have some enthusiastic, wonderful sisters I have been blessed with. So, all right, let's come back here to you guys and we're going to chat just a couple minutes. Okay, so we do have, as I mentioned earlier, Heather will be back with the live on Thursday. That's the same time, 10 a.m. Central, and she will be using the kit. So if you picked up the kit, make sure you are watching. I hope she's also going to be able to give some ideas of other florals in our collection that might look amazing with liquid watercolor. And I do think, I'm making maybe a little bit of an early prediction, but I do think this kit will be sold out pretty soon today. So if you're hearing this now, then take your lunch break early and grab your kit. But yes, Heather will be using the kit. So if you did purchase one, make sure you watch for more tips on how to use liquid watercolor with these images. And she'll be giving some, again, pointers on other sets we have in our collection that might look amazing with liquid watercolor. So that's happening this Thursday. And then I think just the next time I'll see you is next week. Oh, but the product reveal on Saturday. So yes. Whitney and I will be there on Saturday in the Fans of Tailored Expressions page showing you what is coming next week. Officially, our first release in April. Woohoo! All right, until then, have a